Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ify Artistry. If this is your first time seeing my videos, you're highly welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back. Okay guys, so in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I transformed my gorgeous flatmate. Yeah, she's my flatmate. Let me just don't call her a client, even though like this makeup is for her birthday look and her birthday makeup and stuff. Yeah, she's actually my flatmate. Okay guys, so first of all I started by cleaning her face with some micellar cleansing water and my fish this face, cotton pad. I got it from Amazon. Yeah. Okay guys, so I'm going to be cleaning the face, so I pay attention to details when it comes to cleaning the face, like pay attention. And after that I'm going to be moisturizing her face. I'm going to be using the Embroylisse moisturizer. I'm going to be tagging all the product I use for this makeup in the description bar below. So I'm going to be spreading this product all over her face. Like guys, after like the application and everything, I do notice that this, it looks like it's too much, but honestly it's not. It is not too much. I just like put a little, but just that it has this white cast, but it dries up quickly. That's one good thing about the this moisturizer, because this moisturizer is actually a very good one. So most of the times I use my fan to dry in the product. Like I mean, every product I'm going to be using on the face, I use the fan to dry it into the skin as I blend in. Yeah guys, so like I said, she's my flatmate, and yeah, we were gisting and discussing throughout the makeup process, which is actually a normal thing. After that I go ahead and moisturize her lips with a lips balm, and afterwards I'm going to be going in with my a face primer. That's the elf hydrating face primer. So this primer is a hydrating face primer, like I said. So you just to use to hydrate the skin and equally to, you know, prime her face, you know. Okay, so I go ahead and blend that into the skin very well, because I want it to like get everywhere on the skin. I massage it into the skin very well. So before I go into the next product, I make sure I massage and blend it in. Afterwards I'm going to be putting on an under eye cream that is from River Roots. It's a River Roots Pro under eye cream. So I use that to hydrate her under eyes. Remember that the under eyes is a very it has a thin layer. It's a very delicate place, so I blend the product in very well. After that I'm going to be using my Becca primer. This is a Becca pore perfecting primer. Is a very mattifying primer, so it mattifies the face. It removes shine from any area that you apply it on. It controls how the oil comes out from the face, so I'm just putting it these places to control the oil. Afterwards I'm going to be using my Kiss Beauty setting spray to lock everything I've done in, and I'm equally going to use the fan to dry it in. Okay guys, after that I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty foundation and the Maybelline Superstay foundation. So I mix the two foundations together to achieve something that is close to her skin tone, I guess. Yeah, so I am actually I tried mixing well to be sure that this is close to her skin tone and stuff. Yeah, but I do notice that it's a little bit, just a little bit darker than her skin, which is not a problem. I'm going to correct that in no distance time. So when I am done mixing it on, I just place it on her face and I blended it into the skin. So I'm going to be blending this into the skin properly. It's very, very important for you to blend into the skin. Like make sure that you push it into the skin very well, and make sure that everything is well blended. Not just when you are just done like applying it everywhere you think is good, you know, just blending very well. After that I'm using the Kevin O'Coin concealer in the shade X11 XS11, I guess. So I'm just putting that shade in the inner corners of her eyes, because I feel like it's a very, very, so these are actually the two concealers that I'm going to be using for her face. I am showing that after this. Okay guys, so yeah, I'm just putting the lighter shade in the inner corners of her face, and after that I'm using the Zikel Cosmetics concealer as well. Is in the shade, like it's a bit darker than the first concealer, that is the Kevin O'Coin. Okay, so I'm just going to be blending that into the skin. But remember, when I use a lighter shade of concealers, you should understand, because the foundation is a little bit darker, so I need something that is bright to, you know, like pop up her face more. Okay guys, so the first thing I'm going to be doing after blending in the under eyes, I'm going to first of all blend out the Zikel Cosmetics concealer that I just put on, because I would want to leave the Kevin O'Quine under her eyes for a while, you know, before I come back and blend that, because I want it to just stay there, even though Kevin O'Quine is not like that liquid, but I'm just going to leave it there for a while. It's going to dry into her skin more and give me more coverage, though Kevin O'Quine doesn't actually need you to leave it there to give more coverage, because Kevin O'Quine is a good concealer and it gives coverage even before you ask for it. If it will give you coverage immediately. Okay guys, so afterwards I'm going to be using the L'Oreal True Match foundation and Blot Beauty foundation. Yeah, I'm going to be using the two foundations to create her contour, the bronzer. So I'm just placing that on the corners of her face, so it doesn't need to get darker than this. Like, it doesn't need to get too dark, because the foundation is already darker than her skin tone, so I don't need to give a very dark a very dark contour as well. So I just needed a bronzer to warmth the face. That's just all I need, and that will be fine, because at the end of the day I'm going to try and lighten up her face, and while trying to make her face light up, I don't need to, you know, equally battle with a very dark shade of contour, if that makes sense. Okay guys, so I'm just moving on to contour and the nose bridge, and that is it. So I just place the contour shade there, and I'm going to use my beauty sponge to blend it out, to remove any demarcation that would be appearing in that places or whatever. Okay guys, so after moving on, I'm going to be using my blush. This is from Colouredraine, the blush from Colouredraine. I'm going to be placing that on her cheeks. So I asked her to give me a little bit of smile, and she smiled, and I'm going to be placing this. I love this blush because this blush gives me the warmth effect from the face. Like, it just is a very beautiful and nice blush. You would want to have this shade. Okay, so I'm just, you know, like blending in the blush, you know, like trying to see and, you know, create the warmthness on her face, and I want everything to balance and everything to be fine. It's not really that the shade is a little bit darker than her face, equally is the fact that the undertone is a little bit off from the foundation I'm talking. So I'm just trying everything possible to make sure that I correct that, you know, like that's just what I'm doing. I'm trying to make sure that it's been corrected, so I have to do everything in my power to make sure it's corrected. Okay guys, so I'm moving on to, you know, blending the concealer under her eyes. You know, I'm just trying to make sure that I blend in the remaining concealer under her eyes, and that is it. After blending it in, I'm using the Merak Cosmetics setting powder in the shade Cinnamon. So I'm going to use that to set her under eyes. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and just blend back the under eyes, and I'm going to be using the beauty puff, my powder puff, to set. So when I get the powder from the setting powder, when I get the powder, so I make sure I dust it out at the back of my palms. Like, it's very, very important. You know, take it out at the back of your palm and just use the remnants on your powder puff and go on the face. Do not pack the powder on the face immediately, because you're trying to set, not baking. So you don't pack powder on the face. When I get it, is a must. So most of the time in editing I don't show this, but I have to tap it out and use my, like, dust it out at the back of my palm. Make sure that I'm just going on that face with just little or no powder on the powder puff, please, so that you don't go and pack powder on the face in the beginning of your setting. You know, when you are setting the face, you don't need that much powder, you know, if not, so it's going to kick, which you don't like. Okay, I'm just going ahead to set any place that I highlighted on the face with this powder. I mean, I can equally go ahead and set the rest of the face with this powder as well. Like, it's still going to be fine, but that is it. By the way, that's just what I did. I just said they highlighted the areas, and that is fine. I equally run through the highlighted areas with my powder palette. Yeah, so after everything, I'm going to use my powder palette to set the rest of the face, and this is equally another place that I have to try and correct the undertone on the foundation. So I'm going to try my best to, you know, like, use the right shade of powders to make sure I correct this and all that. Okay guys, so this is just moving on. I'm going to just, you know, keep setting and setting and setting, trying to, you know, get everything right and set the face and set the, this is actually called the low light, so I'm trying to set the low light, you know, with the right shade of powders. So after that, I'm going to be setting my contour, you know, like, because I had, yeah, you can see now the shade of the contour is better, is good, not like it's not too dark. Yeah, she doesn't need a too dark shade of contour. She just needed something that is warmth enough, you know, like a bronzer. Okay, moving on, I'm equally setting the rest of the face with the shade, like, so the rest of the contour shades, or the places I have to place the contour, I'm just setting the rest of those places with the exact, you know, contour shade that I'm getting from my powder palette. And after that, I'm using the OPV Beauty blush. I love the blush shade because it's nice, it's just very beautiful. I love this blush shade. I've used this blush for a very long time, and each time I use it, I always fall in love with it because I love how it glides on the face. I love how it appears. I love how everything like shows. It's always very sweet and warm. It brings light to the face, it brings warmthness to the face, it brings like, it makes me feel good whenever I use it. Okay guys, so after that, I'm using my dark shade from my powder palette to contour her face, contour her nose basically. And this is just me running through with just the contour shade and trying to contour and blend everything very well. Okay guys, so after that, I'm going to be using my this is brow tamer. This is a hair wax, so I mostly use it as a brow tamer. So I'm going to be using it to tame down her brows, the hairs of her brows actually. I'm going to be using the the wax, what is this called, the spoolie brush to do that. The spoolie brush, I'm trying to call it the mascara wand. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to call it, but yeah, it's the spoolie. So I'm just using that to brush up the hairs and tame down the brows with it and stuff. After that, I use my setting powder and set the brow area because I don't want to be drawing my brows when there is brow tame on it, because, you know, brow tame, most of the times they have this kind of oil like things, and I don't want to draw the brows with that. So I have to, you know, like, set it and dust it out, and then I continue. After that, I'm going to be using this Hegai and Esther brow gel, and in the shade Nubia, and I'm using my angled brush from Merak Cosmetics. This is one of the mistakes that I made I made when I was doing these brows, because my client is not light skinned that much. You know how most of the times I use just one what is it called, one shade of brow gels to, you know, like, highlight or draw brows. But I could have, what I could have done is to use a maybe something darker, mix it with something darker, so that the line is going to pop out. So when you are doing your brows, it's important that the line is well highlighted. Like, you can do a good job, but if the line didn't come out that well, it could actually make things not look so good. This shade could be fine if I use it in the inner corner, like using it to fill in the brows, or fill out the hairs or whatever. But for lining the brows, I feel like the shade is a little bit lighter. You can agree with me with that on that. I don't know. Okay, so afterwards, I use my Davis pencil to fill out. Like, using the Davis pencil to fill out is fine. Filling out is perfect. I just mean lining the brows. Like, when I was outlining the brows, sometimes my tongue is actually a problem for me pronouncing some words. So outlining the brows is a little bit, yeah, the shade is not right. I could have used something darker than that. It could have make it pop. So when I was editing this, I noticed. Yeah. Okay guys, so after that, I was done. I brushed up the hairs, and then it's time for me to conceal. This is actually, I did a very good job in the brows. Yeah, of course, I did a very nice job in the brows. It just I feel, had it been this line is darker, it could have been more pronounced. Yeah, it's always good when it's like well pronounced. Yeah. It's always good if your brows is well pronounced. I mean, you're going to be very happy with the job you've done, because like this brows is giving, like I did a very good job. Even if nobody else says it, I know I did a good job. Okay, so I'm using the concealer that I use on the face to conceal my brows. So that is the Kevin O'Quine concealer. No, I didn't use Kevin O'Quine to conceal the brows. So sorry guys, I don't think I showed the concealer that I used. You should definitely be Huda Beauty Nuban Beauty concealer, because Kevin O'Quine, I can't use it to conceal the brows because it's a little bit thick. So I think I should use Nuban Beauty. I can't really remember, but definitely for sure it should be the Nuban Beauty concealer. I'm not really certain. If I don't show that then I don't know, I missed it. So I think I used the Nuban Beauty concealer in concealing the brows. That is the concealer that my mind would tell me that I could use. And after concealing the brows, I just go ahead to set the under eyes with my powder, just to, you know, like secure the under eyes, like just to make sure that nothing goes wrong. Most of the times I just set the under eyes with powder when I'm done concealing. It gives me the sense of relief that even if my clients move or touch her brows, that nothing is going to happen. Whenever you've set anything, you know that you've secured it, like you've got it. Yeah, so I'm just going ahead to, you know, like conceal the upper part of the brows. So I'm using my angled brush. Yeah, this is, I think I should start calling this angled brush face angled brush, because it got into a point where I think the angled brush belongs to me now. I don't even know the brand. So I'm just concealing the upper part, and I feel like everything is okay. When I feel like I have done a good job, I equally go ahead and set that side. So before I move on to the eyeshadow, I first of all have to bake. But for this very look, I baked with the OPV, right? Is it OPC? OPVC. It's OPV powder beauty, OPV beauty powder. Setting powder. That is what I used in the baking. You can see that the color is a little bit different. I love it actually, because I love it. I love how it looks. I love the outcome. I love how this comes out. It's nice. So I don't know why I'm resetting the under eyes. Maybe I felt like something is, I don't know. Maybe I'm still seeing the what is it called, the concealers. Yeah, because most of the time I don't like when I see concealers on the brows. I don't feel good, so I have to set it. That's one of the things I need. I have to set it to remove anything that is like liquid on the brows. I don't like it. I like when you are done with the brows, everything should be perfect. So after that, I'm going to be using my eyeshadow primer, the Benign White eyeshadow primer. Is a very nice eyeshadow base. This eyeshadow primer, I've owned this eyeshadow base for, it's almost 4 or 5 years now, and it's not even close to being finished. Like, you know how you buy something and you know that you've just bought something for life, because I don't even know if it expires or something. I don't even know, like, it has been for a very long time and it's still there, it still does the job, and it's not even going half, like it's still there. It's a very good product, this Benign White. Honestly, I'm going to advise anyone, if you want to buy it, just buy the smaller size, because this big size is not going to finish anytime soon. So I'm going to be blending that on the face, and after blending it, I'm using the eyeshadow palette from the Colouredraine. I love their product, the Colouredraine. Most of their product is very good, because they gave me this box of PR package, a very big box of PR package, and I've been using most of the products they gave me, and they are so beautiful actually. So I'm using the shade from that palette to transition her eyeshadow. Like, it's a very just a light brown shade. I'm using that shade to, you know, create the transition for her eyeshadow. I'm just going to be blending that in. So when I feel like I am almost done with the shade I'm blending in, I have to go in with a darker shade from the same palette. I'm so sorry that I didn't show the shades I'm using. I'm blending. I don't know, most of the time when I'm filming, especially when I'm filming for a client, it gets to a point where even the client is already tired and stuff, you know, and showing this product is not going to be a thing that I could continue to do anymore. So I think that is it. So I'm so sorry that I don't, but I'm going to try and do better, because this YouTube. I'm still, you know, like trying to getting to be perfect or getting to be good in it. So I hope you guys will understand. So what I'm doing is trying to still make sure that, you know, I'm trying to, you know, blend out the concealer or the eyeshadow primer, you know, just adding it back or adding it more on the places I'm supposed to add the eyeshadow itself. So after that, this is another palette from the Colouredraine. Like I said, I'll be using a lot of their products. So that particular shade, I'm using it for the main eyeshadow. Like they have beautiful, and most of the times their eyeshadows are very, very pigmented. The eyeshadows are very pigmented. I don't know. So I'm going to be tagging all the products I use in the description. Like I said, I'm going to be tagging all the products that I use in the description. You can actually just see the products there, and you know, you can try them out. They are very, very nice products. So I just blended this out, and after placing it, I have to just start blending it out. And this is beautiful. You can even see the placement of this eyeshadow is nice. This is the eyeshadow that I've been using before, and most of these colors are just the colors I've been using as well when I was telling you guys the colors I use that I don't remember and stuff. So these are actually this is the eyeshadow, and these are the colors that I was talking about then. So this is me just trying to remove any demarcation from the eyes or any demarcation that is coming from the eyeshadow, because one thing I don't like when I am done with the eyeshadow and I see demarcations, like, it's not my thing. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. Okay guys, so me moving on, I'm just smudging the eyeshadow in the under eyes. I'm just trying to blend it out, or you know, just trying to, you know, like smudge it out in the under eyes, because I did the under eyes to a quality pop. So this is me lining the eyes for my client. So yeah, I think she's quite very scared of her eyes and all that, but I have to, you know, like do what I have to do. I have to line the eyes regardless, even if you are scared or not. I have to try and make sure you feel more comfortable. I'm going to speak to you. I'm going to make you feel relaxed and comfortable, and then, you know, like, I'm going to line. So I'm using the Zaron gel liner. This is a very dark gel liner. I'm using that to line her eyes, to line and get the perfect black liner, or you know, like get the, you know, that perfect shape or shade in her eyes, in the under eyes actually. Okay guys, so when I was done, I fixed her lashes off camera. Yeah, and then I'm using the Zaron mascara as well to, you know, like marry the two lashes together, her false lashes and her natural lashes. I'm trying to blend it together, and to an extent my client's eyes is already turning red. The reason is because, like, we filmed this look at night. Like, this, I think the time should be around 1 a.m. or 2 or 1:30, you know, that time. That should be the time. And honestly, her eyes is already feeling red, and I understand why, because we are filming at midnight. You know, we live in the same house, so we are filming the look at midnight. So after that, I got my powder palette, and I'm using that to dust out the excess powder that I left under her eyes, you know. So I'm just going to dust it out and equally blend it out, just making sure that everything is well blended and everything is well, you know, like arranged, and everything is so nice and so fine. That is it basically. I'm just, you know, dusting out. You can see now that everything, every shade, everything is just have come back together. The shade that is not right before have become right. Everything is well pronounced. Her highlights are pronounced, her contours are pronounced, the blush, everything on her face basically is just well pronounced at this point, and I love it for what it is. So after that, I'm adding the cheek glaze on her face. I don't know if I can ever do or deal without the cheek glaze. I am trying to start dealing without cheek glaze, but I just love the effect that cheek glaze gives on the face. So after that, I use my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray to lock in the hydration and everything I've done on her face. Just going to lock that in and use my beauty blender to push it into the skin very, very well and properly. actually. Yeah, so after that I get my Art Cosmetics. This is the Art Cosmetics blot, sorry, it's not blush, Art Cosmetics highlighter. I'm using that to highlight her face. I'm highlighting the places that, you know, like the lights will hit on. I think I made a video about this the other time. And then afterwards, I'm going to start creating her lips. You know, after creating this look up to this stage, I was very skeptical about the lips I'm about to create for her. I know the lips that should fit her face, the shade, or no, but for some reasons, her face is the way her face is, and the way her lips is structured. I was skeptical about what to do and how to do it, because I wanted something that would look good on her and all that. You know, after creating the lips, I don't know if this lips is the perfect lips for her after the creation, but you know what, I'm just like, let me give it a try and let's give it a go and see what happens. So I mixed a lip stain, the lip stain from Merak Cosmetics, and a concealer. I mixed them together to get this shade. So I mixed concealer and lip stain. That is why you see me drying it with fan, even though yeah, some lip stains I dry them with fan though, but I am drying it with fan because concealer is inside it, and you know, concealers, they don't dry up as quickly as lip stains. So I'm just going ahead to, you know, like blend it out. I feel like what I didn't really like about the lip stain is that there is no color. You see how I'm adding colors on it, so I was feeling like there is no colors in the lip stain, because you know how her eyes is already very, very nude and no color and everything is looking. So I feel like there could have been just a little bit of color on the lips, and that could make it pop more, because like if there is no color on the eyes, not even at all, no color on the lips, not even at all, I feel like it's going to be somehow like. So I wanted to add a little bit of color, but I don't know if I did that. So after that, I just got a clear gloss and I'm adding gloss on her lips. I'm adding the gloss on her lips, and that is it for that. And everything is looking so nice and beautiful, and I am happy at this point, just, you know, looking at the handwork of God and what I could do with my hands. Yeah, okay guys, so that is it for this. I'm just adding my gloss basically, and yeah, my client is talking too much and stuff. So after that, I got my Soap Pro setting spray. I didn't warn her before applying this setting spray. So because I do warn people that this spray, you have to hold your breath in, and you know, because the smell is not that friendly and stuff. So you know that once you add the setting spray from Soap Pro, everything is beautiful. So this is the end of the video. This is the end of the look. When I was done, I added the setting spray and everything is looking amazing. I hope you all love this video. Please give me a subscribe, and I'm going to see you next time. Bye.